Good morning, class. It's good to be back after a short break. Um, we met last week, though. Yes, that's correct. Okay, the last few days we are not met. Anyway, it's good to be back. And so, for our lecture today, we are not going to be doing a live face-to-face session, but rather, I want you to listen to this video, watch this video, and let's follow what I have to say. Okay, so the last time we talked, we had some discussion on high risk stickers and low risk stickers, authoritarianism, and stuff like that. And we zero in at the end of the day on how you match personalities to jobs, how there are certain kinds of personality every human being has that help them to decide on the kind of job they do in their life. Matter of fact, I didn't even know that myself. That certain personality makes you better at certain jobs. And if you look at the list that they have in the handout, this is what I'm talking about. Yeah, they have realistic type of personality involve aggressive behavior, physical activities requiring skills, strength, and coordination. Now they are saying that someone with such a personality, you are likely to find yourself into physical work like farming, forestry, and stuff like that. Now, if you don't believe it, you need to search yourself and see if you can determine or figure out what personality you have as an individual, and then look at what you have interest in. What's your area of interest as a student? And you found out that some of this is true. Okay, investigative personality. They say they are more likely to find themselves in biology, mathematics, news reporting, and all of that. Now, news reporting is something that requires investigation. You don't just report news; you got to find out and all of that. So, about the social personality, it's a type that people find themselves in, maybe foreign service and social psychology, etc. What is foreign service? Foreign service is completely a social kind of job. Your whole salary comes from interacting with people, how you interact with people in foreign service and stuff like that. Then top of the conventional and top of the enterprising and these different kinds of personality. I want you to read them and get a better understanding of them. If you have a doubt, go to Google and get a better. But the pamphlet explains it clearly. There are certain personalities that a human being has are good for a certain kind of job. And so that's the reason why it's important that when students graduate from high school and want to go into college, usually they have guardian counselors in the high school. And the guardian counselor is supposed to be there to assist students, especially on career days, to identify what they have interest in order for them to go into college. You don't enter in the business college and do economics because your bestie from high school has interest in it. No. When you enter college, everybody has an individual career track that they go on. And so you must go after what is good for you as an individual and not on what your friend is doing. And this is important because you find many people, some of you in this very class, you are studying the wrong thing because you have some influence, either your best friend end up in this department, or maybe your parent or so say, I want you, the only way I will pay your school fee except you do this, or you were misguided, you didn't know really what you want to do, and you end up in this department. So, if you look at these types of personality, search yourself and see whether you find yourself with a real interest that they talk about. Okay. And this was done by a guy they call John Holland. He carried on this experiment again. Most of the time the scientists and the behaviorists they draw the conclusion on experiment that they conduct. Okay, just how the guy deal with the risk taking managers and all of that. And so this is what the guy concluded on with this personality. Now, so that brings us to the next topic, which is called the nature of ability. It's found on page 21 on in the same pamphlet right after this whole matching personality with jobs. The question here is, what is ability? You hear people say every day, oh, the man does not have the ability to perform the job. Okay, you say Joe Bugger don't have the ability to be president, or the man don't have the ability to be the class president, or she don't have the ability to lead the church. ability. What is ability? According to the handle, they say ability is what somebody is able to do. Simple, clear cut. You can go deeper and find some more technical and in-depth discussion or answer to it. But the simplest one is what a person is able to do is your ability. Simple. And I believe everybody here has ability. Some of you in the class here have the ability to come online, and some of you have the ability to just log in, say present, and go home and forget about the class altogether. Some of you have the ability to fail. I know that one ability. Everybody says, no, that's not my ability. Yeah, everybody come in this class with the intention of passing. Yes, that's correct. But some people have that ability not to pass, don't have the ability to fail. And of course, there are some who really has the ability to pass, for which I commend them. It's a good thing, you know. And so, ability is what a person is capable of doing. According to Hannah, they say it has important implications for understanding and managing organizational behavior. Now, it ties into the name of the course and the behavior altogether. Yes, because if you don't know what your staff or employees are able to do, you now know the behavior, and you now know how the behavior is impacting the organization as a whole. So the nature of ability is saying that ability is what a person is capable of doing. You see, it determines the level of performance that a worker can achieve. That's correct. That's correct. You send people to go haul blocks from outside inside. You find out that one person come with two blocks in the hand, and another person come with only one block at a time. Why is that so? Because each person has different ability, and because of the different ability, each person performance is going to be different. That's why they say your ability determines your level of performance as an individual on the job. And because of the effectiveness of an organization, it as a whole depends on the performance level of all individuals within the organization. That's correct. They're saying that any organization, for it to be very effective, AME University, for example, it depends on the ability of each individual worker to be able to perform up to a certain level before you can consider yourself to be effective. And so that's what ability does. That's what ability does. It shows your performance level based on what you're able to do. Then that's your ability. But it's also important to note that the ability comes in two forms. Two kinds of ability, as you see in the handout, page 22. The first one is called cognitive ability. That's COGNITIVE. Cognitive ability. Some people pronounce it cognitive, or all of that, but cognitive ability. And the second ability is called physical ability. Two kinds of abilities: cognitive ability and physical ability. Those two abilities, when you put them together, all right, they determine, it shows the level of output or performance of any individual. And once those abilities are the right ability that is needed for the organization, your cognitive and the social and the physical, it means that the organization will perform well. The organization will have the right behavior. Now, but what are those two abilities? What is cognitive ability? Okay, they say cognitive ability is also called general intelligence. Okay, the most general dimension of cognitive ability is general intelligence. Below general intelligence are 8 specific types of cognitive ability that reflect competence in different areas of mental functioning. The word there is mental functioning, your mental functioning. So, in short, the cognitive ability is the ability of your mind, what your mind is able to do. Clear cut. Whereas the physical ability is what your body is able to do, what your strength is able to do. I hope you're following and getting me clear. You need to be in a quiet place and watch this clearly. The cognitive ability is the mind, what the mind is able to do, whereas the physical ability is what the body is able to do. The example I gave earlier about telling people to bring in blocks, that particular ability there is physical ability because what? Who able to throw more blocks than a friend? One person able to bring two, another person able to bring only one. That's physical ability. Now, cognitive ability is normally called general intelligence, your mind. Now, in this class, all of what we exhibit in this class is cognitive ability. There's nothing much physical yet. And so, the general intelligence is divided into 8 different kinds of abilities. 8. You have verbal ability, your ability to talk, how well you can present verbally. You have numerical ability. People are very good at numbers. There are some people who I love math. Oh. There are other people who love math. My auntie used to love math. I never understood how a Liberian woman will go get master's degree in math and physics. Are there any Liberian woman now to say they getting master's degree in math and physics? All the women run, but that's numerical ability. You have reasoning ability. Your ability to be able to reason and analyze something. Somebody says something, you just jump out. No, 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 no. Hey, hey. There are some people who want to take time, assess it, analyze it, and make a sound judgment. You have the deductive ability. Deductive is to be able to look at one and one, two, or look at 2 or 3 things and make a conclusion. They say if this is happening to her and she slept at this area, then definitely it's because of this that is happening to her. If you slept in a dirty bed, okay, the person is complaining that they got dirty all over in the morning. Deductive ability. Some people will not be able to figure it out. They say, oh, but if you have dirt all over you in the morning, where did you sleep? I slept in a dirty bed. You check the bed. So if you slept in a dirty bed, that's the reason why. Deductive, you must be able to deduce. That ability is also mental, but everybody has it at a different level. Then you have the ability to see relationships. There are some people who can hide relationships. So 2 person go up. Yeah, why is that an ability? Because not everybody able to figure out and determine whether there's something going on between people. So now just a slip of tongue, one word the person may mention, that kind of person with that kind of ability will be able to determine and say, oh yeah, there's something going on. They got spatial ability, people who love space and all of that. People, like astronauts, they want to understand the space and all of that. They got the ability to remember. A lot of us are not very good at that. But there are some people who are extremely good at that. They can remember the day. Say, oh yeah, it was August 17, 1994. I can remember. Now, I won't remember that was August 17, 1994. I can remember my birthday and stuff like that. But that's another ability. They got a perceptual ability, the ability to be able to perceive things, to look at the whole picture of something. What they're trying to say is that general intelligence, which is a cognitive ability, has these 8 different abilities. You need to read them and you get a clear understanding, and you need to find out which of these abilities can be found mostly in you. Oh, yeah. All these abilities are in you. All. They are in every human being, but it varies. Some people got more verbal ability and less numerical ability. Some the reasoning ability is shrunken away. I mean, but everybody got these abilities, and at different levels, it fluctuates. Need to understand that. Then the next ability, like we said, is the physical ability. Say people differ in both cognitive and physical ability. There are 2 types of physical ability. You have the motor and the physical. Physical. The motor skill is the ability to physically manipulate objects in an environment, whereas the physical skill is a person's fitness and strength. Your motor skill, motor means movement, how well you able to move things around, and physical is how strong you are, your muscle and all of that. So that's the physical ability. Every human being has that. Okay, and so there are times when certain work require more cognitive ability and less physical ability. There are some work that require more physical ability and less cognitive ability, especially so if you are a worker that just say do the thing and care so. And now you to want to determine why they carrying it there. You just carry more physical ability. So search yourself and you find out that there are certain abilities that all of these abilities can be found in you but at different levels. Then uh They say, where do abilities come from and how it is measured? Okay, it also comes from nature and it comes from nurture. We already know what nature and nurture are. Nature are things that you're born with. Nurture are things that you learn along the way. Your ability, your cognitive ability can develop a whole lot through nurture. I mean, your nurture, because as you learn things, it changes your mentality, your mind, all of that. Trust me, from the beginning of this semester, some of the things you know right now, you didn't know it now. And so it came as a result of what nurture, because what over the last few weeks, we are exposed you to some topics, personality traits, we expose you to locus of control, different little things. And for those who've been understanding it, yeah, it has added to your cognitive ability. So ability comes from nature and nurture. Okay. And then they say there's a new kind of ability that came about in recent years they call emotional intelligence. What is emotional intelligence? It's a new kind of ability. It's the ability to understand and manage one's own feelings and emotions of others. Yes. To be able to manage your own feeling and manage your own emotion. Also be able to manage the emotion and feelings of other people. How does that happen? Firstly, you need to understand somebody's behavior before you can manage the emotion and the feeling. Your brother crying over something, you know what can really make him laugh. When you talk it and he start laughing, you have managed his feelings. You manage his emotion. That's emotional ability. I mean, emotional intelligence. Okay, your own self too. Sometimes you see something happening, that may cause you to want to react in a terrible way. Okay, some people they have accident, you see them running all around, they completely confused. Other people they involved in accident, you see them very calm. Emotional intelligence, the ability to manage their feelings. Okay, in previous classes I have taught you will see like, when you say you give example of emotional intelligence, most of the example the girls can give, they say, oh, when I saw my boyfriend with a different girl and I was supposed to slap her or something like that, but I managed my feelings. I just walk away from there and went home. Yeah, it's true that emotional intelligence, but that the only example. Hey, women, you found new example now. Okay, there are other ways in which emotional intelligence can be seen and all of that. And then something lastly I want to look at is the management of ability in organizations. How do you manage the ability of human being in an organization? One, there are three fundamental ways to manage ability in organization to make sure that there's no mismatch. What is uh, uh, what is mismatch? When you put in wrong people in the wrong era. Okay, you put carpenter to do secretary job that mismatch. Okay, square pegs in round hole they can call it. They have selection, you have placement, and you have training. Are the three ways in which you can manage ability in an organization: selection, placement, and training. What is selection? Managers can control ability in organization by selecting the individual who have the ability that the organization needs. Period. That's the first one. Before you employ somebody, assuming that it's a little computer shop where they do photocopying and they do typing, desktop publishing, and all of that. Before you employ somebody, are you going to employ somebody who the only thing you know how to do is to staple document? No, you have to employ somebody that has knowledge of photocopy machine, know how to type, somebody who has computer knowledge and all of that. That's the first step. They call it selection. So the kind of person you bring in determine whether you'll be able to get the right performance and output out of them. So selection is the ability to be able to get the right person for the job. When you bring them in, then you do what they call placement. Placement. Once individual are selected, the manager must accurately match each worker to a job that will capitalize on his or her ability. That's correct. You bring the person in the shop now, okay, you have somebody typing and doing desktop publishing, you have another person doing what? Photocopying. You have another person maybe doing internet searching and all of that. So based on that, you do the placement based on what this person already knows. This person is good at typing. Oh, okay, but then you'll be doing the typing of the documents. Or the person is good at photocopying or understanding the photocopy machine. The new machine comes, you can understand it. You put the person there. Or maybe the person is good at what was the third thing I said? Whatever. So that's placement. So the placement aspect is when you put the person into the right place that you want them to work. Then the third one is what they call training. Selection and placement as ability management techniques are concerned with nature aspect of ability. Training acknowledges that nature can also contribute to ability level. Training can be effective measure of enhancing workers' ability. That's correct. So when you bring the person, you put the person on the job, the next thing is you want them to be better in our job. You want the person to be better in our typing. You want the person to be better in our photocopying. You want the person to be better in internet searching and all of that. So you provide a little training for them. It will enhance their skill. It will improve on the performance and will be able to get a better output. So that's the steps involved in managing ability. What is it that the person can do? You get it. You notice, you have to take note that what the person can do is what you want. You're not going to recruit or you're not going to hire somebody who does not know the kind of work you're doing in your office. You hire the person who knows the work in the office. After that, then you put them in the right department that they fit, and then as time go by, you train them to make them better. That way, the ability the person has, the mental and the physical, you are managing it, you are improving on it because why? They say the ability leads to the performance of the organization, and the behavior of the organization will be correct as they go along. So just to recap, we talk about the matching personality to job. We talk about each of you need to consider the idea that the job that you have, or that you have interest in, you might have the personality for it. Then we talk about the nature of ability. We have two kinds of ability. We have cognitive and we have physical. Cognitive is the mental, and the mental has about 8 different types. The physical is the one that you have physical. You got motor. Motor is how you are able to move things, what level of thing you can move at the time, and the physical is your strength. Then we talk about where ability come from. It comes from nature. It comes from nurture. And then lastly, we talk about matching. No, then we talk about emotional intelligence, ability to be able to manage person's feeling and all of that. And then the last one is how to manage ability in your office. Now, what I want each of you to do as a little exercise, okay, is to look at yourself and considering emotional intelligence. Okay, no, not emotional intelligence. Look at yourself and look at your own ability, your cognitive and your physical ability. Okay, explain on the platform whenever you want to. Very briefly, everybody should see it. Tell us what kind of what kind of cognitive ability you found more in you based on the 8 different kinds of emotional intelligence they have in the handle. What kind of cognitive ability that is more in you as an individual based on what is in the handle. Write it on the platform. I want to see it. You are contextualizing this to yourself. You go to artificial intelligence does not know what kind of ability you have. So you'll be stupid if you go there. Sorry for the word. So search yourself. Everybody know what they're capable of doing. All right, and you'll be able to let us know. Thank you very much, and we'll see you when we do. Have a great day.